Hello again. Okay, some of you may notice that I'm wearing the same shirt from my previous videos because I actually shot this in one take, one day. Okay, we are still talking about walking down the memory lane, but this time it is the second episode. Okay, for second episode, I am going to talk about phones. Okay, I'm pretty sure that all of you have memories of using Nokias, right? They always come out with different designs and different models for their phones, and everybody went crazy about it. It's like we have to compete with each other. The moment they release new model, everybody will buy and trade in their phone. Okay, because of this trade-ins, okay, I somehow did not have any Nokia phones left with me now as memory of all keepsake. So these are all the phones that I remembered using, but I might have more, okay? But these are, as I said, these are the only ones that I remember. So let's get to it. The first one is, just like everybody else, I think everybody owned this one. It's Nokia 3310, known for its durability. Okay, people say you can just throw it at a dog and it will hit them nicely. Okay, that's how durable this phone was. Okay, it comes with a casing that you can change, and the battery lasts forever. Okay, well, because it doesn't have camera, it doesn't have internet connection, this and that. Obviously, the battery will last longer, right? But it was huge back then. It was so huge. Almost everybody have at least one Nokia 3310 in their household, and I was one of them. Okay, if you talk about this model 3310, of course everybody will remember the snake game, where you have to eat and then it will grow longer as you eat, and then you have to make sure that you don't clash its own tail, as you will, it will be game over. Okay, so that is Nokia 3310, and everybody was like very fast at typing at that time. Next up is this phone, Nokia 3100. 3100. I don't know how people say it back then, but I think it's called 3100 or 3100 or 3100. I'm not sure. This was my first color phone ever, because Nokia 3310 before was in black and white. No, black and gray, I think. But this one is in color. It came out with four or three. I don't remember. They have like pink, blue, and black, and another color that I don't, maybe white. But I remember owning the one in pink. Okay, but they give you another cases, so you can always change, and you can buy the cases as well. And after Nokia 300, I changed to Nokia 3200. Okay, this was my very first camera phone. Okay, the phone has a camera, yes, but the megapixel is very tiny, you know, compared to what they have these days, and it's like only one camera at the back of the phone. And then what's special about this phone is that it has this film. Okay, you can remove the film. It doesn't have interchangeable cases like other phone, but it have this interchangeable films. Okay, so you open up the phone, okay, remove the film, and then replace it with another film. So that's 3200. And I remember the keypads are very roundish or oval-ish, I don't know, just like this picture. Okay, and it has colors backlit too, really interesting. And of course, talking about phones in the 2000s and 90s, everybody still remember ringtones, right? So back then, you can compose your ringtones. I don't know if you know this, but every time you flip through magazines or Galaxy, whatever magazine that you read back then, there is this number coding, and you can do it in order for you to kind of like create song for your phone, which is really cool at that time lah. Okay, after Nokia 3200, I moved to Sony Ericsson. This is my first Sony Ericsson, and also my very first flip phone. My very first flip phone. And what's more special about this phone is that it was released especially for this in conjunction of the Da Vinci Code movie. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, I think it has a camera at the back, and I'm sorry to say this, but my sister kind of lost this phone because I gave it to her and she lost it. Still not happy about it though, because I rarely lost things. But either way, that was my first flip phone ever from Sony Ericsson. And then after Sony Ericsson, I moved back to Nokia 5700. Nokia 5700. This is the first phone that I was pretty much amazed and wow that I said to myself, I should not let this go. I think my mother owned this phone and then I kind of like took it. Oh, that was so bad of me, isn't it? The best part of this phone is that you can swivel the bottom part of it. Okay, so you can have this keypad dial-up function or the music function where you can press play or forward or rewind, this and that. So this is my very first, we call it a music phone. Music phone, where it is built especially for people to listen to music. Okay, you know, like I was a very avid music listener, so I need this kind of phone, and I had it. So that was my first phone, Nokia 5700, and I think I own it in black color. They have black and red, only two colors. I think this phone doesn't have cases, so that's what makes it more unique and exotic about this model. And this phone also comes with the camera. Okay, you know, like I told you before, it can swivel, right? You can also put it this way, 90 degree, and you can have this camera button there, in camera. And you can take pictures, obviously. I do not remember how many megapixels was the camera, but it was alright back then. I mean, people were still experimenting, exploring with the technology. And then I started exploring Samsung. Okay, for my very first smartphone, it was Samsung Galaxy S3, this one. Okay, this Samsung model is actually very durable as well, just like Nokia 3310, because I remember having it when I first started my career as a teacher, I think, back in Sarawak. And then I used this phone. I remember bringing this phone to Bali, Indonesia for a trip with my friends, and the phone dropped twice, not once, twice. Once in a paddy field, secondly in a coffee grinder machine, like the manual coffee grinder, like a pestle and mortar but bigger size. It dropped that. So even after all that tragedies, okay, the phone survived. The phone survived until I changed it with my second smartphone, which was Sony. Okay, that time it's no longer Sony Ericsson because I don't know what happened, but Sony Ericsson was no more, like out of picture, so they just have Sony. And Sony introduced series of Xperia, and I got myself Sony Xperia Z3. It was really cool. Okay, the function was like Sony was known for its music at the time, and also camera a little bit. And then I got that. I used it only for a short while, because I remember in 2015 I changed back to Sony Xperia again, Z5. Okay, Sony Xperia Z5, this one. Okay, I changed to this one because I love the color. It's green, like emerald green. Love it so much. And then after that, I thought I saw somebody. No, there's no one. Nobody's coming to see me anyway. After that Sony Xperia Z5, I finally got myself an iPhone. Okay, I started with iPhone 7, and then now I'm using 7 Plus, when others are already using 12. But it's alright. Both of my iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, they are still working well, and I love them both. Okay, so yeah, those are the chronology of phones that I use over the years. Growing up, I might miss a few. Oh yes, I definitely do. I have another 2 phones actually that I forgot to mention to you guys earlier, but luckily I have the model here with me. The first one is this, Samsung. My very first swivel phone, Samsung. Yeah, okay, you can swivel it. Okay, this phone is very interesting because it is actually the first TV phone, guys. TV phone. They have this aerial as well, and I brought this phone all the way to New Zealand. So imagine I use this phone to New Zealand. It has 2 megapixel camera. I already took out the battery because it was bad, and then it has a record button at the side. Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, it's only 2 megapixel. It's too bad, isn't it? But that time I somehow still survived in New Zealand with this phone. And then when I was in Sarawak, okay, for my first posting back in 2013, Okay, I was placed in a very rural area, so my Sony Xperia Z3 did not function to its fullest at that time, so I need another phone so that I can contact my parents, okay, because it's not easy to get line, especially Maxis, so I had to buy another phone. So I bought this Nokia Asha 310. Okay, so this phone has 2 SIM cards, that's why I bought it. So it has 2 SIM card trays there. It's nothing much. It has camera, but it's only 2 megapixel, and it's still working fine now. Yeah, so these are all the phones that I have used over the years of growing up until a fine guy I am right now. Okay, this is more like complimenting myself, but if you know me, you know that's what I always do anyway, because nobody else will compliment you other than yourself, so you should do it more often, guys. Okay, so that's about my collection. What about you? What were the phones that you have used growing up? So thank you so much for watching to this video, okay, and of course thank you so much for supporting me with my channel, The Dean's Channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and if you haven't clicked the button, please do click it, like button. I will be very happy if you do so, and that will be my cue. I think I talked for so long. Until then, please take care of yourself, be nice to one another, and goodbye.